Once upon a time, the world fought a war against fascism. We celebrated victory with a simple lesson: don't let this happen again. But here we are in 2025, watching public figures flirt with the very thing we swore to oppose. Enter Nigel Farage, a man who claims to stand for the people, as long as those people aren't asking him to condemn the wrong ones. So today we ask, why does Nigel Farage struggle to take down problematic figures? And is it just a laugh, or something far more dangerous? In this video we're going to talk about Nigel's interview on LBC and his comments about both Andrew Tate, and whether this and others are Nazi salutes. We start off with him being questioned about Andrew Tate.
Why did you say that Andrew Tate is an important voice for emasculated young men? And that's a quote I've taken from yourself.
Yeah, it's funny, I said this, and then I had that Beth Rigby woman from Sky News.
He's just been pulled up about his endorsement or neutrality towards Andrew Tate, and the first thing he does is he says woman about Beth Rigby instead of talking about her job, which is a journalist. And we're going to see this pattern all the way through because it's almost a masterclass in plausible deniability. He never outright endorses Tate, but he strategically uses positive coded language to frame him in other ways.
From Sky News saying, oh my God, you said that Andrew Tate is an important influence for young men.
Important. Does that sound particularly negative to you?
I said, well, it didn't mean that I supported him. I was making a comment. So in the end, I got so frustrated, Julia. I said, you're quite right, to Sky News. Andrew Tate has no followers and no influence whatsoever. And this is one of the problems with trying to have a rational, nuanced national debate on anything. Tate has become a powerful voice for many young men. Julia, I am not saying that is a good thing. But I'm not surprised in some ways that some of these things are happening. You know, when we were playing football in Germany recently, England fans were told, don't sing, don't chant, and don't drink more than 2 pints. I mean, we're telling young men not to be men. We're almost emasculating young men, and so they're looking for other role models. Do you understand, Julia, the point that I'm making?
Luckily, Julia steps in and calls him out.
Okay, so I think that is conflating a lot of issues here. I don't think that many people would have an issue with men or women shouting at football matches, but I do think that Andrew Tate has openly said that it's okay to hit and choke and young women to keep them in their place.
Yes, he has, and I'm not going to play what he's actually saying here because it's disgusting, but essentially that is exactly what he's talking about there. The anger, the violence, the control, the manipulation, the second-class status, all these things he's talked about and is encouraging for other men, young men, to think about. And Nigel has used the word important.
He also talks about smashing up their belongings, breaking them down psychologically in order to control them. These are things that he openly says.
He also says women are intrinsically lazy. There's no such thing as an independent female. Mr. Farage, why would you be seen to offer any form of support to comments?
I'm not. Can we all grow up?
His was a campaign, this is your words, his was a campaign of raising awareness. His was a campaign of giving people perhaps a bit of confidence at school or whatever it was to speak up. Those are words of support, aren't they?
No, I'm not. No, I am identifying, honestly, a phenomenon.
You might be wondering why I've got some football being played in front of you. It's because the person who's about to score the goal, Ronaldo, was such a good player that he was nicknamed as the phenomenon. When Nigel says that he is a phenomenon, does that sound like a negative, positive, neutral word? When clearly Andrew Tate has got something wrong with him. And the kicker is that he's now comparing him to Ronaldo.
The Tate thing is a phenomenon, and I agree with Julia. There's some very dark stuff. Not very far away from the surface. You know, just dig a little bit and you find it. I'm
allegedly, just in case. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying, Julia, you know, everyone knows that this guy has an enormous following that he's built up. Russell Brand, equally, has an enormous following that he's built up. I'm not supporting it, I'm identifying it.
Those words, phenomenon and important, are value-laden words. If he wanted to have a more neutral meaning, he could have gone controversial figure, divisive influencer, a polarizing voice, something that questions him. That's not what he's doing with those words. Now, Nigel does eventually condemn him directly, but it takes someone trying to hold him accountable for his language use. And for me, by doing this, Farage avoids direct praise while signalling to Tate's audience that he acknowledges their hero is a serious figure. And it's not the only time he's done it. Listen to this.
Which world leader did I admire? And I said Vladimir Putin as an operator, particularly the way he managed to stop the West getting militarily involved in Syria.
What is it about the murderous dictator as an operator that you admire?
How many years has he been in power? You know, he's gone from prime minister to president. He's a clever political operator.
How many journalists?
He kills journalists. He kills journalists.
Okay.
I said he was. I don't like him as a human being in any way at all. You can recognise the fact that some people are good at what they do, even if they have evil intent.
Was Hitler good at what he did?
What, as a public speaker? What do you think? Clearly hypnotic in a very dangerous way.
What I'm talking about is when Trump back in April said, then I see the disinfectant, which is bleach, where it knocks it out in a minute. Sorry, bleach is disinfectant, Nigel.
Do you know what?
Bleach is disinfectant.
Grow up, stop being fake news.
Sorry, Nigel, just to clarify, these are the words of Donald Trump.
Grow up and stop being fake news. He never said bleach.
Okay, I'll tell you what, let's just play the clip. You say he didn't say use disinfectant bleach. This is what he said.
It's interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors.
Sorry, Nigel, have I made that up?
Yes.
Okay.
We just saw the clip.
No, it's okay. It's okay. If you think,
I'm sorry,
honestly,
you are sinking to the gutter by talking about bleach. You know you are.
Sorry,
yet you
Donald
won't
Trump
back
was
up.
talking about bleach. We just heard him.
It's just rubbish.
We just heard him, Nigel.
And here comes the second part where Nigel starts talking about the Hitler salutes and whether or not they were or were not Nazi salutes.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions, or two-part question. I wanted to ask Nigel if he regrets speaking at the CPAC conference in America after Steve Bannon did a Nazi salute, and also whether he would recognise that Elon Musk and Steve Bannon are doing a Nazi salute, or does he think they're just giving their heart out?
No regret speaking at CPAC. Good Lord, I've been going to CPAC, Fox, since 2013. I've been almost every year.
Just explain what CPAC is to
Sorry, I apologise. It's a big Conservative Political Action Committee conference that takes place in Maryland, just outside DC. It was funny. 2013, I was the only foreign speaker at CPAC. Now it's become a big international conference with centre-right views.
But
and
not
some
Jordan
more than right.
Bardella.
And weirdly enough, here is the clip of Nigel Farage and Steve Bannon talking about setting up a conference.
If you're interested, what I'd like to do is set up something, and I'll fund it somehow, that I think you're the perfect guy. We help knit together this populist nationalist movement throughout the world. Because guys in Egypt are coming to me, the Modi's guys in India, Duterte, you know, and we get Orban and even thing, and we're somehow some sort of convening authority for conferences and stuff like that, so we can get ideas out there. I mean, do you think that's a worthwhile thing?
Yeah,
or you think nobody's got it. Nobody's doing it right now.
It's not being done.
But
And
not
some more
Jordan
than right.
Bardella, if I'm saying that correctly, the French far-right leader who cancelled his visit after Steve Bannon yelled, "Fight, fight, fight," and was said to give a Nazi salute. But you were still happy to go there, Mr. Farage.
Well, I spoke before that. So Bardella was due to speak after it, and he withdrew. I spoke the day before. It's a big conference. It's an important conference. As for Musk and Bannon, you know, both of whom I know, Steve I know very well, I think what Bannon was doing was frankly taking the mickey out of Musk.
I don't know when it became okay to take the piss out of doing Nazi salutes like that in political conferences. To me, it seems like they're just spitting on the graves of those that died in World War II. Remember the public outrage over Harry wearing a Nazi uniform, and yet Farage is like, well, it's okay to do fake Nazi salutes at political rallies.
Because Musk had done something similar to that just after the inauguration. Are they Nazi salutes? I don't think they are for a moment.
What are they then, Mr. Farage?
Unwise.
Judge for yourself.
Thank you.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
hope that I can encourage you, and my heart goes out to you.
And Nigel goes a step further in trying to justify it.
But they are attempting Nazi salutes.
Well, they're not really Nazi salutes because they're out to the side, not in front. I mean, look, we could drill down on that. Do I think Musk's a Nazi? No.
All right.
So just to really finish this all off, here's Elon Musk trying to defend himself and his salute on Joe Rogan.
What is it like to buy a company for $44 billion and then people call you a Nazi on that same thing that you bought?
I did not see it coming. It's classic. People will Goebbels anything down.
Yeah. Oh, he's never gonna stop.
Wait, what?
What is it like? Like all of a sudden, like people used to. The left was in love with you.
Yeah.
And now the same idiots are calling you a Nazi. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean,
there's so many examples of people saying my heart goes out to you.
Sure,
you did
sure.
it with a little enthusiasm that probably wouldn't be recommended with hindsight.
Yes, but I was obviously meant in the most positive spirit possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. But it's so strange where people want to think that you are openly publicly doing secret Nazi Sieg Heil hand motions.
And now I can never point at things diagonally. I can only point at things there and there. And then so you have to divide that.
Yeah.
Because that's where the spaceship is, over there. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When CNN, when I was in all my trouble.
Absurd.
Not one bit of hubris, not an apology, it's a doubling down and going, it wasn't that big a deal, I didn't mean it, so it doesn't matter.
It's so crazy.
Well, it's deliberate propaganda. So that they know it was obviously not meant in a negative way, that I literally said my heart goes out to you, and it was very positive. The entire speech was very positive. I was being very enthusiastic about the future in space, and
we don't know because you keep saying weird shit that everyone's going, shit, is he going to the right more and more? That's the problem, and he doubles down on his position. In fact, he blames other people for his physical actions. We all do stupid shit, but either own it, and that is who Nigel is defending. He didn't mean it, it's not real, it's only a laugh, why can't you just not have a bit of fun with it? Maybe Nigel can take some of his own advice.
Grow up!
And there you have it. And I hope you realised from this video, it's alright for Nigel to have a laugh at someone else's expense, but when it's anything to do with him or anyone else, it's time to grow up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Nigel doing it because it's funny, or is there something more dangerous behind it? And once again, if you got this far in the video, hit that like and subscribe button. And to all my Patreon YouTube subscribers, thank you so much. Your support means so much, and it keeps this channel growing and going. Once again, thanks for listening. Bye for now.